Happy 5th of July, everyone. It's the return of Riley Davis himself. We're recording this 2 days early. It's not even the 4th yet. None of us have even stuffed our mouths with a glizzy. But here we are to give you your show. Riley, how are you?
I'm doing well, fellas. I'm out in Fort Lauderdale, Florida for been here since Saturday, little vacation with the family, just Natalie and Theo. So didn't bring my mic with me. So I apologize in advance for any audio issues. Blame it on the AirPods. Blame it on Steve Jobs. May he rest in peace. And excited to talk a little college hoops, though.
I didn't even know Steve Jobs was dead.
Dude, he's been dead for like a decade.
For real?
At least a decade. Dude might have died in like 2012.
Well, RIP to that man.
I want to give.
How are y'all doing? It's the first time I've talked to you since your big Baltimore trip when y'all were posting up on Instagram getting fits off.
You know what, Riley? I'm doing okay, I'd say. I don't want to go good. Good's too far. I'm okay.
We had a good Instagram session in Baltimore. We did, Riley.
Yeah, it made me a little jealous. I'm not going to lie. I was like, why were we not getting fits off in Phoenix back in April? I was.
Why didn't we get fits off?
Carter was.
That was a work trip, not a pleasure trip.
Can't get fits off at work. Okay, I didn't know that was part of sleeper's criteria.
I was there to dress like a cell phone salesman and deliver, and that I did. Okay,
and
Riley,
do ad reads for Wendy's.
And do ad reads for Wendy's. Riley, you are in Fort Lauderdale, which begs the question, which I think we all know the answer to. You're a pretty big fort guy, right?
A big fort guy?
Yeah, like you just seem like a guy who loves forts.
I mean, I've toured a couple forts in my time, yeah, but I don't know if I necessarily want that label as a fort guy.
You've toured a couple forts in your lifetime. That makes you a fort guy unequivocally. How many forts have you been in your lifetime? You're thinking about
6, maybe 7.
That's crazy. You're a fort guy.
Huge fort guy. Also, like, there's those forts, and then also I just assumed you would be like a big time, let's build a fort guy. Like, you probably, like, when you were 6 or 7, you were doing it, but then you got to be like 11 or 12 and your friends started wanting to like talk about girls and you were like, no guys, let's go build a fort.
Let's go back. What you're doing is like Will Byers and me. That's a Stranger Things season 3 type when all the kids are growing up and Will Byers just wants to go hang out in the woods in his fort. I've had a couple Stranger Things reference this summer. I need season 5 to drop. My pop culture references are.
You've been asking for season 5 of Stranger Things more than anyone I ever know. But Gregory, can we actually no? We can't get to the show until I read the YouTube comment, and I'm the one who's going to read it and introduce it while you just stand there and stare at me.
Actually, while you look up the YouTube comment, I would just like to add that it's funny Riley keeps bringing up Stranger Things on the show because Card actually looks like a Demogorgon. Also, is that what it's called? Because I don't watch Stranger Things.
Weren't you like a season 1 guy? I feel like we've talked about this before, and then you fell off with it.
Watched 1.5 episodes and said this isn't for me. Also, it's really unsettling that Millie Bobby Brown is like a grown woman now, and she's married, but like they try to pretend she's 10.
I didn't even realize she was married.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Got you. I can't believe.
But yes, it is a Demogorgon.
I can't believe I'm letting Greg talk to me this way. It's insane. When you sit in your house, because I know you got like a lot of big exposed windows, are you in danger of getting sunburn if you're like by there too long?
There actually is a lot of natural light. Yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta like be careful. Like you gotta fire up some SPF before you throw on a show.
Oh, ha ha. His mom had skin cancer and he needs to be careful. What a funny one. What a hee hee hoo ha.
That is not fair.
Hee hee hoo ha 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 hoo.
Not fair.
Like that's that. I'm gonna stop myself.
You should.
That one should be as off limits as some wild ones.
Hold on a second before we get into the show. Is you are pasty comments not off limits?
You need to protect your skin.
No, it's more so.
You think I want to be pasty?
No, probably not.
I think this is classic Greg, like twist your words and make you out to be the bad guy and try to negotiate with you. And we're not backing down from it. We have my forehead got made fun of 2 weeks ago. I got made fun of for a variety of things in Greg's diss track. I can't be mad about it because I made like 20 bars calling Carter fat again.
Mm-hmm.
So calling Greg pasty and or pale and or needs prescription sunscreen should very much be in the realm of like what's allowed here.
Okay.
The guys
I
like
didn't say
cancer jokes. I get it. It's fine.
Oh my! How dare you? All right,
It's fine.
here's the YouTube comment because you're out of pocket. Let's go here. You really threw me off here. Okay, let's go with this one actually. This comes from Robert Bullard. Greg, I said this yesterday. The shave look is good. Nothing is definitive for life. People and styles are always changing. There you go. A positive Greg comment.
In the time that it took you to look up that comment, you could have ran one 40-yard dash cart.
Didn't you run an 8.3740 while we were in Baltimore?
No.
Okay. It looked like one.
Should we get to the show?
Your knees knock together when you run.
You don't run, so I don't know what it looks like.
Okay, I do kind of Carter back in like 2010, 3-star D end. I bet he was moving in the 40. I bet he ran like a 4.940.
Faster than Greg current day.
You know, you keep saying that, but then when we were at a field that was specifically meant for running and I was challenging you to run, you didn't run. So we didn't get to see who was faster.
Because I got a bad back.
That's not even a joke. That's just honest. We have witnesses. Everyone was there.
Comment below who y'all think is faster, Greg or me.
We'll never find out because much like me doing the Tang bet, Carter's never going to run against me.
You think so?
I do think so.
This episode's going to be toxic.
I do think it is. Okay. Hey, what do you got, Riley?
I know we're running short on banter time, but Carter mentioned in his back, I think the next evolution of his men's league game is to give dudes buckets on one end of the floor. You know, do your little like high post passing that I know you got in your bag, get a nice assist, a little flashy pass badge, and then get back on defense and like grasp your lower back and act like your back is too sore to play defense.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on that for sure.
Yeah, you'd be good at that too, because that would involve lying.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we have a couple Riley specific comments. Can we go to those, or do you have something else for me, Cart?
No, I'm good for now.
Okay. Fam starts us off today. Happy Bluffs Friday to all who celebrate. When it comes to 4th of July grill preferences, are y'all brats, hot dogs, or burger guys? How many total as well? And what are the go-to sides? Bluff, get your ass on today's show.
I'll go first. 2 brats, 1 burger. That's usually what I would be my choice at the 4th of July cookout.
Wow. No dog?
I could pass on a dog maybe if you honestly, I think a grilled dog with the char marks on it and just mustard on a bun is tough to beat. So maybe that's like your nightcap as you're winding down for the evening. But I'm definitely loading up on the brats first.
Wow.
A nightcap glizzy is an insane move, I must say. A glizzy one, I'm probably going glizzy burger, but the hot dog has to be cooked correctly. There should be maybe a second thought that is that a glizzy or is that a brat, because there's the char on the hot dog that needs to be present. And then I don't like how burgers are neglected on the 4th of July. They shouldn't be. Nice burger slaps.
Can I give a PSA about burgers? If you have people over for your cookout, get real burgers. Don't go frozen burgers. Like, it's a little more expensive, but if you're going to host people, just treat your guests well. That's all I got to say on that matter.
Geez, all right then.
Yeah, I agree with everything that's been said, to be honest. There was one more from Toon that Discord's really in the way of me right now. I can't scroll back and find the full com. Oh, yes, I can. Here we go. Happy Riley Friday. Who is your way too early first overall pick for next year? And if it is Cooper Flagg, the more interesting question is who is number 2?
Riley?
Got to go with Coop 1. It's a safe bet. It's the best bet. Ace Bailey's my number 2. If y'all remember, I had him ranked 10th in my best players for this upcoming year. I just think a 6'9" ball handler who can score all over the court. It's got to be Ace.
We got a lot of shit yesterday, Riley, because we did the way too early draft, and we had Ace Bailey 6th, Dylan Harper 5th. Our main point here was one, we didn't want to pick one over the other, so we were kind of like forcing the other person to do it. But two, we are worried a Steve Peichel offense is going to sabotage them compared to Duke guys.
It's actually not the worst take. I kind of like that take now that you mentioned it. But but think about it this way. If Ace Bailey can average 17 or 18 a game in a Steve Peichel offense and still have that bump from how touted he was as a recruit, and guys remember what he did at the prep school level, maybe that even like is enough to boost him to number one. It's either banking on him living up to expectations or so far exceeding the odds that you have no chance to take him over flag even.
Yeah, true. Could happen.
But you're really trying to get Cooper out of one. I got
Yes, I am.
I got Cooper on Dylan Harper too.
Dylan Harper too, Cart?
Yeah.
How come you didn't take him that high yesterday?
So I didn't want to be the first to pick a Rutgers guy.
So we just bumped him. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but okay. Riley, you might have to prepare for a world where the top two picks are Duke players.
I prepared for that in 2019, and UNC went 2-1 against Duke. So
2-1.
Hang the banner.
Oh, I'm just saying, like we got Duke that year. We swept them in the regular season.
I'm sure you also got Armando Bacot that year, and that was real exciting, even though he's still on podcast talking about how much he wishes he went to Duke after making $2 million at North Carolina. That's
all right.
Great for the brand.
We'll revisit that later.
All right. Thanks to the comment section. That's it for today because we did these back-to-back episodes. So get more comments coming Riley Davis's way in the future, ladies and gentlemen. I know most people probably didn't know if it was for sure going to happen this week, but come back with a vengeance next week. We will be waiting for your questions. Cart, would you like people to join the Discord or would you like them to not because that directly actually benefits me?
No, I would love people to join the Discord. It's the best possible way to support sleepers. And we need all the support that we can get. And I'm not going to tell you why we need all that support, but we need it.
What does that mean?
I'm changing the tide of this podcast. I'm not going to say any more mean things.
What would even be the mean one that you would say back there?
Let's get to the show.
I don't like this move by you. Let's get to the show, though. Topic number one today, Riley. What are we doing?
We're making a return to our player rankings. I think we had a couple weeks off of it, and I gave y'all a heads up. I'm saying the odds are very strong that you did not prepare. It's okay. I came prepared.
How dare you?
So we will be ranking players 31 through 40 today. And last night, in a stroke of brilliance, I made a consensus player rankings for us with the help of my wife, who's really good with Google Sheets, because I don't know anything about Google Sheets. I generally suck at that kind of stuff. So shall I read the list for the people to let them know where we're at? A little reset, if you will.
Please.
All right. So here are players, the consensus sleepers, gotta get it, boys rankings 1 through 30. At 1, we have Mark Sears. At 2, we have RJ Davis. 3, Hunter Dickinson. 4, Janai Broom. 5, Ryan Kalkbrenner. 6, Braden Smith. 7, Cooper Flagg. 8, Cam Jones. 9, Kadari Richmond. 10, Caleb Love. 11, Walter Clayton. 12, Hunter Salas. 13, Alex Caravan. 14, John L. Davis. 15, Dylan Harper. 16, Norchad Omier. 17, Ace Bailey. 18, AJ Storr. 19, LJ Cryer. 20, Grant Nelson, friend of the program. 21, Ryan Nimhard. 22, Wade Taylor. 23, Graham Ek. 24, VJ Edgecombe. 25, Umar Balo. 26, Tremont Mark. 27, Trey Townsend. 28, Taman Lipsey. 29, Coleman Hawkins. And 30, Ada Mahaney.
Looking back on this, I think there might be changes to be made, but I'm willing to accept this and move forward with 31 through 40.
Rutgers has 2 top 17 players in the country.
Rutgers has 2 top 17 players in the country, yes. They both will probably be top 5 picks. Still insane.
I don't think that's absolutely crazy to say.
I just want to say it out loud. I don't know if I disagree or agree, but
I'm glad you can say it out loud, Gregory. All right. So I kind of want consensus between us. Can we work through this to get to 40?
Yes, I have some names. under consideration, but I'm curious if I might have missed some.
There's only one name I care about in this next group of 10, and I care about him strong enough that he's 31st on the list. But y'all go through and we'll see if you name him.
Who is it?
I want to see if y'all name him first.
Vlad
So
Gold,
the one,
Danny Wolf, Roddy Gale, Reuben Jones.
Okay.
Trade, like, who is it?
We'll see if
you
you
want
name him.
you want my list of guys who would be under consideration?
Yes.
Please.
All right, so these are all guys who I think should be on like average to pretty good, even some really good teams in that case. There's one outlier here who's just so good, but his team is going to be Cheeks. Chaz Lanier, Eric Dixon. There's the really good player. Team is Cheeks. Colin Murray Boyles, Malik Renew, Common Maluwach, Jaden Akins, Jordan Pope, Darlinstone Dubar, Jaleel Bethea, Jackson Robinson, Rylan Griffin, Will Riley, and Elliot Cadell.
Oh, you really tried to sneak that last one in there, didn't you?
And then I have another tier of guys. Well, actually, two guys who I think will put up numbers, but their teams will suck. Maxime Reynaud, Dawson Garcia. I threw Terrence Edwards in consideration just because we all are pretty high on Louisville. And then I gave Bruce Thornton a shout too if Ohio State has a bounce back year. All dudes under consideration, but yeah, I might have missed some. Full disclosure.
You have not named the name I care about.
What league does he play in, Greg?
Kasparis Giacchionis is a killer. That's like it's a new development, but it's a development. And if we're doing the whole like Rutgers has 2 top 5 picks, Kasparis Giacchionis like looks like everything. He's going to be Illinois' best player. Everybody says it's not even a contest. People are saying he's the best player Brad Underwood's had. Going back to Io DeSumo, like right now, stepping in the gym, he's better than Marcus Damask and Terrence Shannon. That's what people in the gym are trying to tell us about Kasparis Giacchionis. That's a new development. We didn't know that 2 weeks ago. We know it now. If we knew it 2 weeks ago, I would have been arguing for him in the first 10, probably from like 7 to 15. But yeah, like everybody you named, with all due respect to some of those players who are fine and some who are most definitely worse than Vlad Golden, I would like Kasparis Giacchionis 31st on this list.
Cart, where are you at on Giacchionis?
I mean, I do like him a lot. The top 10, if we redid this list, is throwing me off, but he should be somewhere in here. So, like, I'm good with getting him at 31.
Yeah, I mean, top 10.
Like you mentioned, Will Riley. Kasparis should be on there before Will Riley.
But also,
Yeah,
if Kasparis is doing this, now that I think about it, Igor Demin also should be the BYU kid. Like
he's gonna be in this.
Okay, these two are supposedly insane, and we had Igor ahead of Kasparis on our mock draft list. But if we are playing the mock draft game, like the names, the freshman incoming guys, the Cart and I named that I think will be really good in college, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey were on it in 5th and 6th, and they're already on here. Kasparis and Igor Demin came off in the next couple of picks, I think 10th and 7th. Maluwach we had 2nd overall, and you just named him in your next group. Edgecombe was on there. So I think like this is the range that these guys should be in the mix for.
We already have Edgecombe top 25 though. We had him 24th, I think.
Yeah.
Which honestly might be too low. We might have to bump him up.
Okay.
Okay, so but my counterpoint with both Kasparis and Igor Demin is like sometimes these dudes don't work out. I know that's really complex and nuanced, but this time last year, Ade Mara was a projected lottery pick. Like, I don't know. I get it that I'm saying that on one hand, while I'm very high on Ace Bailey and Jaleel Bethea, and I mean, if you bumped Elliot Cadeau out of consideration for Ian Jackson or Drake Powell, I wouldn't fight you on that either. I got to give a Tar Heel a shout. But yeah, so I just feel like the freshmen are usually, I mean, international freshmen feel more of an uncertainty to me than these bona fide 5-star kids who we've known about for the past 7 years. And maybe that's just my like American, I don't want to, my American bias.
Riley, this was my stance 3 weeks ago. This was my stance when they signed Kasparis. I was skeptical for all of those reasons. Watch the tape is my response. I just sent you a video. It's 90 seconds long. Kasparis is the best player in the gym without question. Like this dude's going to feed. And if he doesn't, I'll be stunned. But Yes, I'm fine with other names, but like he can't be lower than 40th. He can't be.
All right, we can get Kasparis in here. Where do we want to put Eric Dixon, CMB? I feel like that's going from this super exciting lottery prospect to a Villanova player. I'm sorry, bad transition there. But Eric Dixon is also still going to be serving dudes buckets. His team just might win like 10 games. I feel like he
So
needs to be in the 30 to 35 range.
I like to go KJ1. Or sorry, KJ31. I'd like to go. I want to go Igor before him, but I will settle for Igor at 32.
That was kind of my thing. Shouldn't we flip him? Like anytime we
I
talk
would.
about it, we assume
I would.
Igor's better.
I would like to. Yes.
So I then go Igor 31, Kasparis 32.
Okay.
All right, that works for me.
And then I would, if we're choosing between, I'd probably go Man next.
You go with him at 33?
I think Man-Man's going to be better than Murray Boyles, and I love Murray Boyles, but like
I think he'll be better than Murray Boyles. Yeah.
and it'll be better. He's better than Eric. He'll be better than Eric Dixon too. These
I don't
freshmen
hate
might
it.
kill. The freshmen might kill.
It's a strong class. I don't hate it.
Okay, with Malawatch, yes, I think he's going to be very good. I still can't completely shake him not doing anything in the Nike Hoop Summit though, when he was like 1 for 6 from the floor.
What about when Elliot Cadeau did nothing in the tournament? He didn't shake that.
Sophomore breakout gives you an extra boost. And I'm not arguing for Elliot Cadeau at 33. I slid him in there at 40.
Okay,
We're going
I'm
to
just-
slide him right out of there at 40 also, just to be extremely clear. There's
I'm
three
getting-
other names on North Carolina I'll accept before Elliot Cadeau.
Who are the three besides Ian? Who's the third besides Ian Jackson and Drake Powell?
I'll listen to you on other proposals, but Drake and Ian are the actual names, and then like let's have a Cade Tyson conversation.
All right. What if we do Kasparis 31, Igor 32, Eric Dixon 33, Malawatch 34, Murray Boyles 35? You feel good about that?
I feel fine about it, but also I think Malik Renew and Vlad Golden are better than three of the names we just named.
You think Malik Renew is better than Eric Dixon?
Yeah, I actually do think that too.
Why am I so high on Eric Dixon?
Because
I don't know.
you feel bad for him. Eric Dixon is good though. Don't get me like
Eric Dixon's been the face of the two worst Villanova teams since I've been alive.
All right, we can bump Dixon down. Do we like Renew over Mbako?
Yes.
I don't.
It kind of hit me last night that Mackenzie Mbako was a top 10 recruit who's coming back for his sophomore year and was giving dudes buckets down the stretch.
Junior year.
Like wait, did I say Renew or Mbako?
Mbako's back for sophomore year. Renew's back for junior year. Yeah.
It hit me last night about Mbako.
Yeah.
Top 10 recruit coming back for year 2, who we usually love these types of dudes, especially when they have at least somewhat of a sample size to show that they belong and can live up to that pedigree.
Guys, I hate to say this. The way our 31 through 40 shaking out, aren't they washing like our first 29, first 30?
It's definitely possible.
Okay. That's not good. That is bad for Gotta Get It Boys brand right now. That's awful. But we gotta find a way because we're here.
All right. So right now we've decided on 2 of these next 10 spots. Do we want to throw Renew at 33?
Yes, because I think he's better than Dixon. I think he's better than Murray Boyles, honestly.
All right. I'm good throwing Malawatch at 34.
All right.
So then 35, Murray Boyles or Dixon?
Murray Boyles.
Y'all killing me, man.
36, Dixon.
The moment any of these dudes average 16 and 7 on a full season, let me know.
Eric Dixon's already done that. Look at the numbers
I was
from
going to
last
say,
year.
didn't Eric Dixon do that?
Okay, you let me know.
Look it up.
I'm about to double check. Yeah, Eric Dixon averaged 17 and 7.
Okay. So then I know exactly where my guy belongs then if Eric Dixon just went off the board.
So is Vlad Golden at 37?
Or can we sort other guys that average 16 and 7?
All right, let's put Vlad Golden at 37.
We can.
Ian Jackson at 38, Jaden Akins at 39, so everybody's happy.
Jaden Akins doesn't belong in here.
What about Chaz Lanier? Do we want him at 39?
We're gonna go. Wait, hold on a second. You're not just gonna sneak.
Love that KD drill.
You're not. You're not just gonna sneak Ian Jackson there at 38.
I think Ian Jackson belongs in the top 40.
I don't.
Jordan Pope belongs on there before him.
Agreed.
Fine, we can put Jordan Pope at 38.
You got RJ Davis on the list.
I want two guys in the top 40.
You're not getting them.
You're greedy. You're greedy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you would have got them if your team got anybody from the portal that mattered this year. Like,
all right, 39. What are some other lists that we have, or some of the other players in consideration here, Riley, outside of the ones that listen to the pod as the roof?
Jaleel Bethea, Jackson Robinson, Rylan Griffin, Maxime Reynaud, Dawson Garcia, Bruce Thornton, Terrence Edwards.
I can't believe. Wait a second. Okay, Dawson Garcia should be on here before Vlad, shouldn't he?
I gotta be honest, boys. I think everyone from 25 through 70, you can make an argument to flip-flop if you want. So, like, doing this exercise is kind of grating me. Like, I'll do it, and I'll put the hat on and do it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to bat for my guy because Vlad was hella productive and one of the most sought-after transfers. But if y'all want to put him 30 spots lower, I don't think that's crazy. I honestly think Akins could belong. Ian could belong. Milan Momcilovic hasn't been mentioned, and I think that dude rocks. So, I don't know. Pick whatever names you want to make us happy.
I should have never made that SPF comment. All right, so 39.
All right, let's just put Milan Momcilovic at 39. I feel
He's
good. About that.
Momcilovic at 39.
But Cart's right. Dawson Garcia is good.
I go Dawson Garcia 40.
Fine.
All right. Hey, he's technically a UNC player.
It's true, he is. When he left the team was when UNC went on its run. It's unfortunate for him.
He did way more for the culture than you give him credit for.
I just realized there's more former North Carolina players on this list than there are current North Carolina players on this list.
That's how it goes sometimes. Should I read 31 through 40 for the listeners who made it through this exercise?
Please.
All right, 31, we have Kasparis Giakashonis. 32, we have Igor Dimin. 33, Malik Renault. 34, Kama Maluach. 35, Colin Murray Boyles. 36, Mr. 17 and 7 himself, Eric Dixon. 37, Mr. 17 and 6 himself, Vlad Golden. 38, Jordan Pope. 39, Milan Momcilovic. 40, Dawson Garcia. Great exercise. And I'm sorry, we might have to make it through 50 next week. I don't know if we can just stop at 40, Greg.
I want this to go until we get to like 200, just because it's funny how much it infuriates me doing this on a weekly basis. Also, Mr. 17 and 6 is going to be used multiple times this year. Also, if Kasparis was in Argyle stripes and Carolina blue, you would have had him 6th overall on this list.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Card, any final thoughts?
Nope.
Just want to make sure you're not silenced, my guy. I feel like you're the heart of the show, and we want to make sure that's thriving.
I'm the gallbladder of this show.
Topic 2, what we got?
I have a new segment that I would like to call the Graveyard Shift.
You're bringing new segments and naming them?
Yes.
So, this is incredible.
This derived from a joke Greg made. I can't remember which UNC target committed elsewhere. But Greg said something about the UNC transfer target graveyard and how there was probably like 15 names that I talked about, y'all talked about in different shorts of guys who UNC's interested in, UNC wants, and then it didn't happen for a variety of reasons. So the Graveyard Shift is talking about players that your program had a good shot with. Which one stings the most is who I want to talk about for segment number 1. Ooh. You can go back as far as you want. You can be talking about, like, I don't know if Andrew Wiggins had an OV scheduled to Michigan State in 2013. That feels like something that would have happened and it didn't go as well as you hoped. Anything, even like that, like it can be a highly sought after freshman who you thought your school was going to get and it didn't happen. It could be transfers you had. Which one stings the most? Yeah, let's go ahead and throw it back the last 10 years.
This is such a fun topic. I love it.
It is. I'll go first because I think I have the one that definitely stings the most. Jabari Parker.
Yeah.
It was Jabari. I really thought Michigan State had him. He had this great relationship with Charles Cha Tucker and Dr. Tuck, a guy from the Lansing area. He still like goes back to Dr. Tucker's basketball camps that are in Lansing and played. Like I was so convinced that Jabari Parker was going to be a Michigan State Spartan, and he was so damn good at Duke, and it killed me watching him be a killer. I think that's the one that immediately comes to mind. Honorable mention Imani Bates. I don't care what anybody says. If Imani came to Michigan State, he would have killed.
Who would Parker have played with had he gone to Michigan State?
Ooh, what year? Let me see what year that was. Because was
It was a
Jabari
14 season when Jabari was at Duke.
He would have mapped with Denzel Valentine, with Travis Trice for a year, with Brandon Dawson senior year. And honestly, I think that was part of it. Was Jabari said he felt like Brandon Dawson was at his spot, and there was some friction there. But he was a one and done, obviously. But I don't know. It would have. I think that lineup literally. It was the Michigan State team that went to a Final Four, and it would have been Trice, Denzel, Jabari, Brandon Dawson, and a center, Matt Costello.
Dude, they lost to UConn in the Final Four. 60-54. That was the what was that UConn team? An 8 seed or a 7 seed with Shabazz Napier?
Oh, that was the Elite Eight year.
Oh yeah,
we might have mixed it up. They lost to actually a different Duke team. I don't know if that's the Duke team that he would have been on.
Would this have been
the Duke team they lost to in the Final Four was like with Okafor and Justice Winslow.
And that was the year after Jabari.
Yeah, yep. So the year before they lost to UConn in the Elite Eight. If you had Jabari Parker, you're
oh shit, that's even crazier. Yeah, no, because he would have been on the that team would have been insane. Keith Appling, Gary Harris.
That's what team he would have been on?
Brandon Dawson, Adrian Payne, Valentine, and Trice.
Oh my God, that team would have been disgusting.
So they would have started Jabari at the 3 with Appling, Harris, Dawson, Payne.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts even more. I didn't realize. I thought that he wasn't on that team with like freshman Marvin Clark, Javon Bess, like Junior Costello, Junior Forbes, Junior Zell. That they both hurt, but like damn.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane.
Dude, y'all would have won the title that year. UConn would have one less. We'd have to have less UConn propaganda. Now I'm upset. This is a graveyard pick for me.
I've already Duke making it in the tournament Jabari's freshman year.
I'm glad you asked, Carter.
Oh.
They lost to Mercer in the first round.
Oh, that dude hit the nene on him. That's tough. I'm glad he got that.
Okay, I have 3. I have a gold, a silver, and a bronze.
Wow.
Bronze has to be on here. Terrence Shannon. I will say this until I die, until I go to my grave yard shift. If Terrence Shannon was allowed in on Juwan Howard's Michigan team while Hunter Dickinson was still on the roster, on the group that also had Caleb Houston and Musa Diabate, this entire tenure looks extremely different, like insanely different. Juwan's still the coach. Like they just would not have been this bad. They would have been good. Hunter probably plays out his career. And I'm not saying things were going well, but the early years of the Juwan Howard tenure was such a different narrative. Like they won the Big Ten, they went to an Elite Eight. The next year they made a Sweet 16, even in a down year. He was putting guys in the league. He was putting pros left and right. Terrence Shannon commits to him before Illinois. Like he wanted to come to Michigan, and it just didn't happen. He ends up at Illinois as one of the best players with his jersey in the rafters. And I mean, like it just actually, I got it wrong. It would have been Kobe Buffkin, Jet Howard. So for 1 year, that team cart would have been Kobe Buffkin, Jet Howard, Terrence Shannon, Hunter Dickinson. Like it would have fixed everything.
Can I give you a counterpoint, Greg?
Yes.
Had Terrence Shannon gone to Michigan, we would have never gotten your Juwan Howard is making a sandwich with 15 slices of bread rant.
That's also true.
That was special.
That was an all-time.
That was a top moment in Sleepers history.
So that one obviously stings, but also like I want Juwan Howard out now, so it doesn't sting as bad. My other 2 will sting for forever. Silver medal is Cassius Winston. Because Cassius is a Spartan legend. Obviously, he went to the rival and ended up being incredible. But the backstory of the Cassius Winston recruitment is what hurts the most because there was real buzz he would end up at Michigan. John Beilein got impatient. John Beilein, basically took Xavier Simpson the day after Cassius Winston was like, yo, I got to cancel a visit last minute because I think he had like a high school dance or some shit he just wanted to attend. And Beeline backed out, said, we're taking a different point guard. Now, that one stings a little less because I don't know that they would have gotten for sure anyway. And two, Xavier Simpson led Michigan to a national championship game, which is something that Cassius Winston did not do. But robbing Michigan State fans of Cassius Winston and that experience is something I would have loved to do.
What's gold?
Gold is the one that hurts the most. And I don't know if y'all even know about this one or not. John Beilein put in years of work into Devin Booker before Kentucky offered. And it was highly expected Book was going to commit to Michigan. And he was going to be like Nick Stauskas 2.0. I was in love with him. The little just graduated college me was obsessed with him through the high school ranks. It was Michigan or Missouri. And then Cal swooped in at the last second so he can come off the bench. And I had to watch this man play 20 minutes behind Trey Lyles for a full season while fucking Aubrey Dawkins is playing 36 minutes on the wing for Beilein. Disgusting.
Yeah, can I ask you one thing? Actually, two things. Did Draymond get any consideration?
No, because I just wasn't as in tune with what was going on with Draymond's recruitment back then. And two, I don't believe a word that Draymond says ever. So when Draymond comes out and says, like, yeah, I actually wanted to go to Michigan, and then a day later is like, I actually don't rock with any of them dudes. I went on a visit and they were all pussy. Like that is hard to square. What's real?
Gotcha. Can I get the starting lineup of that team that went to the championship game?
For who?
The one that was led by Xavier Simpson.
Well, Xavier Simpson, Muhammad Ali Abdur Rahman, Charles Matthews, freshman Isaiah Livers, and Mo Wagner.
Mo Wagner.
Yeah. So Xavier Simpson has the second most NBA appearances of anyone on that team.
Duncan Robinson came off the bench.
He did.
Didn't Poole come off the bench too?
For 8 minutes a game, yes.
Okay.
Poole played 8 minutes a game on that team?
Correct.
I thought he'd at least be double digits.
Muhammad Ali Abdur Rahman, baby.
Smoke that layup.
I mean, anytime Rahman can carry you to a championship game, what Xavier Simpson got dragged.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he let him. All right, that was Riley Graveyard.
Yeah, my gold medal is Zion Williamson. I don't know how many people know.
Okay, hold on a second. Are we really did y'all actually have a chance at Zion?
Yes, and I'm sure Maynor is gonna chime in the comments and call me out or something and say that it was never happening. But there was a report that Roy had an in-home with Zion 2 or 3 days before he committed, and the quote was that he was floating and thought they were gonna land him. It was something like that. He felt like he was walking on air or something. And I'm pretty sure Roy did the Pat Riley throw the rings down pitch to Zion in his office. So yes, that's always going to be one that stung. I didn't think it was going to be a lock, but I thought there was a really good chance UNC would get him. And I didn't think he was going to Duke. I thought it was going to be UNC or Clemson. And if you look at that UNC team that he would have been on, was Kobe White, Kenny Williams, Cam Johnson, Luke May, Nazir Little, Garrison Brooks. I think UNC wins the national championship if they have Zion.
That's a good one. I mean, I might need to do some revisionist history research on that Zion, was he ever actually gonna make it happen with UNC?
I mean, the chatter there was a lot of Clemson and South Carolina speculation, if memory serves correct, but UNC was definitely right there. Okay. And then Jeff Capel swooped into the last second for Coach K and got him to Duke.
Letting Jeff Capel swoop in on you is
nasty work.
That's not a good thing.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Silver medal might be Jaylen Brown just because of the narrative around him now as Finals MVP. Would be pretty sick to have a Finals MVP representing my program.
Jaylen Brown's on my list also, Riley. We thought we were getting him. That was another Beeline one.
Because this was, I know. Well, I think Jaylen Brown legitimately said that he was going to UNC had there not been the academic scandal shadow lingering over the program in 2016 when we still pretended like any of that mattered.
Hate school.
So those are like the two big graveyard ghosts for me.
That's a really fun segment. I also feel bad I gave 3 and y'all gave 2.
I'm trying to think if the one thing is like I don't think my program sets themselves up for graveyards. They just don't get in. Just stay away.
True. You got. I feel like you had some relatively big ones recently that just didn't work out. I mean, you hit Amani, but like, it felt like wasn't there a whole class like 3 or 4 years ago that kind of all the top targets missed, and then none of them turned out to be good anyway, like Jaden Shoot and Isaac Trout.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. But those guys didn't end up being good, so it didn't hurt.
Yeah, that's true. Enoch Boache.
that was also classic. That
dude's that
college.
He is. Yeah, he's at Villanova now.
Boache is at Villanova?
Yeah.
Wow. That Isaac Trout class, what was that, like 2021? That whole class, I feel like there was a lot of UNC graveyard guys from that class who all ended up stinking as well. Because UNC was in it for Isaac Trout as well, and I was convinced that dude was going to be like, pick your favorite white stretch 4 with a little bit of bounce to him, you know?
I don't know if I could deal with my program being a blue blood and like every year you just miss on like 15 guys that become NBA All-Stars. Like the Jamal Murray recruitment hurts me enough. And that was one.
Wait, I got one more for like my bronze. But this one I wouldn't say I ever felt so good about it, but I convinced myself it might happen. It was Josh Jackson.
That's a good one.
Josh Jackson is a good one.
Yeah, like once he went to like prolific or whatever, I was like, we're probably screwed. But I thought
being part of that class would have been crazy.
Is Gigi Jackson good enough to be a bronze for me? Because he would have been on that team that missed the tournament in Pete Nance's role.
Dog,
like, do they still?
Low key sucks. Y'all really do just miss out on just like all NBA teams. There are probably like 6 guys on that team that had offers from UNC. Good luck with that.
It's also funny because like if Armando Bacot was doing this exercise with us, he would have been drafting for Duke, and he himself would have been on his own list.
It doesn't matter, Greg. We'll talk about that next topic if you want to just cycle right into it.
Sure, let's do it.
All right, yeah, let's talk Armando Bacot on Theo Pinson's podcast. Greg sent this to me yesterday while I'm on the beach just relaxing. I watched the clip. I thought it was pretty funny. I got some good laughs out of that. I thought Theo Pinson's tales of being lit after Austin Rivers hit the shot when he was visiting UNC was hilarious. I don't hold any negative feelings about this, and I don't even think – I know Duke fans love to say UNC is always the backup option. Cool, y'all. They are better than UNC at recruiting. I give them that. Duke has put more pros in the league. I give them that. They get talent. Coach K did it. John Shire did it.
You're giving them a lot right now. Anything else to give them?
This is you're spitting right now.
That's going. It. I'm being an unbiased fan. They get talent. They put dudes in the league.
What else do they do more than Carolina?
Not win.
Is that part true?
If you look at the series, yes. If you look at the all-time score between the two.
Oh, so we're doing like the Michigan football thing before Jim Harbaugh actually won.
What's the Michigan football thing?
That just like if you look at the all-time standings, we're actually better than Ohio State.
Okay. It would be one thing if like UNC wasn't coming off of sweeping them this past year. I wouldn't be talking this reckless, but I'm seeing way too many confident Duke fans in the social media sphere saying that they're going to sweep Carolina. They're talking like they were the ones who swept UNC this past year, and I'm tired of it. UNC still has more Final Fours, more national championships, stuff that actually matters, unlike Michigan, who had those accounts saying like, oh, it's been 780 days since Ohio State beat Michigan because the game didn't happen one of those years because of COVID. Like,
Riley, can I put on my UNC trousers for 2 seconds here?
Yes, you may do that.
I would be pissed if one of the best bigs to come through my school basically kind of shook ass for the other school after they left. Like, why is he saying that he wanted Duke and he loved Duke so much? Did I miss the question? Was there some context? Like, could he avoided this?
I'm sure there was a question that was asked. It probably came up very naturally. This isn't that all that uncommon. You know who grew up a huge Carolina fan, Greg? Isaiah Evans, the dude who you're up here saying, like, oh, he's going to be starting by the end of the year. This dude's a top 10 pick, and UNC didn't want him, which you could say was a mistake on UNC's part, but it's
crazy.
UNC got
we're flaunting that?
We've lost it, Cart. We've lost it.
No, Greg, we got to come in. No, Riley, I appreciate everything you've done for the North Carolina fan base. This is unacceptable, and I'm
unacceptable.
What? We're saying that like it's just like, oh, yeah, he wanted us, he loved us. We didn't want him. We didn't want the number 8 recruit in the country.
Yeah. In hindsight, after how this portal season went, it probably doesn't make much sense for UNC to
dog hindsight. Foresight. It looked great. It looked great back then. Whatever word it is.
Dude, I don't think Evans is a sure thing by any stretch.
You just came on here shaking copious amounts of ass for Drake Powell, and I'll tell you right now, Isaiah Evans is better than Drake Powell.
I think Drake Powell is pretty easily better than Isaiah Evans.
Just to make sure,
boys, jumper over Chris Paul, and we are losing recipes.
Boys. I would like to just make sure I have this perfectly clear that I haven't missed something here, because I watched the video. I've talked to Carter offline about it. I've talked to you offline about it, Riley. Now here we are talking about it live on the Sleepers podcast. So let me make sure I have this right. What has happened here in sequence is the best player from North Carolina in the last 6 years has gone on record to say, I actually was and still am a Duke fan.
He did not say he still is a Duke fan.
I wish that Duke had made the Final Four last year. I wanted to go there, while in the same breath then saying, oh, I actually made $2 million at North Carolina. So we now know Carolina has all of this money, but can't sign a center this year. And the one they did have, who was really good, still actively roots for the rival to make Final Fours. And also looking forward to this year's roster. Somehow that makes it okay that North Carolina didn't want a 5-star stud who is now at Duke, while you still have a front court spot open. Is that, I just want to make sure that is exactly what has happened here, correct?
Okay, let me explain. For one, are we sure Armando said he wanted Duke to go to the Final Four?
Yeah.
That wasn't in the clip you sent me.
Let me find
and
it.
I don't think you listened to the whole podcast. I think you're making that up.
No comment.
Yeah.
Can I refer you to my lawyer?
He did not say I wanted Duke to go to the Final Four.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
said
did.
I grew up a Duke fan. He said he grew up a Duke fan, grew up cheering for them, and was diehard. That was it. Then he went to Carolina and he switched.
Here's the clip. This is from Title League, I believe, whatever the pod is.
NC State though, yeah, like yeah, I can't stand NC State. Bro, it's something about they just you know how sick I would have been if they won it this year. Gosh, I wanted Duke to win. I wanted Duke to go to the Final Four. I didn't want NC State to go to the Final Four because, like,
he didn't say he wanted Duke to go to the Final Four, Riley?
You're like, you took that completely out of context. I thought you were saying he said he just wanted Duke to go to the Final Four because that's like the second team he cheers for. He said he wanted them to go over NC State.
Duke to go to the Final Four. Bro, you know how sick.
He said he wanted them to be NC State. That is not.
I wanted Duke to win. I wanted Duke to go to the Final Four.
Over NC State. We need to get Armando on the show to explain himself.
Armando charged $7,000 for a 3-minute appearance. So,
okay. Let's break this. Let's hash this out a little bit. Armando said he grew up a Duke fan. I feel like y'all are twisting this on me. Admittedly, I probably shouldn't have brought up Isaiah Evans. I tapped my chest. That was on me. I just wanted to show that there are examples of Duke guys wanting Carolina and not getting that Carolina offer. That's all I'm saying.
I got it. You. I'm just, the only thing I'm saying is, before you hash this out, you pulled that out like that was the kill shot, when basically you pulled the grenade little trigger thingy and didn't take it out of your belt buckle.
Yeah.
Blew up on it.
Also, you tried to pull the. I don't think you listened to the pod without knowing that he literally said, "I wanted Duke to go to the Final Four."
Okay, but you also made it sound like that he like it's me saying, "Oh, my team is out, so let's see, who do I want in it?" I guess I'll cheer for Duke. It was no, I'm cheering for Duke against NC
You're
State.
a Carolina legend. Do you not see the problem with this? In actual seriousness, like, I know we're just having fun doing the sleepers thing, haha, Riley Friday, woohoo! But like, I would be disgusted if Trey Burke's doing a press tour. Like, oh man, like, I didn't want to see Ohio State. Yeah, I wanted Michigan State there. I wanted Izzo there. I'd be disgusted with that.
I just like, there have been numerous players who say they hate NC State more than they hate Duke, so I'm just used to it at this point.
Y'all losing the rivalry. I never heard a Duke person say they hate NC State more than Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point.
We need to talk to Hubert. We need to get Hubert on the line.
At least he
change.
At least he talked about how much money he made. That made me feel good.
This is the worst part, though, because like y'all should not be losing the rivalry. You got Coach K out of there. You packed his ass up. I saw him ride the golf cart. Like, Mickey was disgusted. And here we are now, just 2 years later, a year after you swept them, still saying y'all aren't winning the rivalry because y'all don't know how to act, Riley. Like, you just got to get your people in line. You got to be Moses, part the Red Sea. No?
I think you're right.
Right.
I think I need to get back in my Exodus bag. There needs to be some commandments that are reestablished here.
Thank you.
Here we go.
I needed this.
This is a good exercise.
This is like my burning bush moment where I am summoned to go be the change that I wish to see in Chapel Hill. And I know I just went from Yahweh, from God, to Gandhi, which doesn't, not the most natural transition, but yeah, that's how I'm feeling after that.
I'm glad.
But I just can't be mad at Armando. I love Armando. I'm like willing to overlook this. Is that what's wrong with the rivalry right now? Is that why my program couldn't get a center this year? Because we're just giving dudes lifetime achievement passes?
I don't want to say it, but I mean,
My pivot would just be this simple question. We know what Armando Bacot charges for 5 minutes of his time. We know what Armando Bacot claims to have made for 5 years of his time at North Carolina. Are we sure the reason y'all don't have money for a center isn't Armando Bacot? You're still in debt to that man?
That's a crazy theory. I don't think we're in debt to Armando Bacot, no.
Maybe not in debt, but maybe funds need to be replenished.
Let's move on.
I think this works. Tune in next week. We're going to flesh this out a little more. Thank you to our listeners today. This show's been all over the place, but shout out to Riley Davis for making sure we get this episode done a couple of days early so the people can get a Riley Friday return after a week off on a holiday weekend. Shout out to Cart. He's given us more time today than he normally does, which is crazy because he already gives a ton. A lot of work went into making sure we got 5 days of episodes this week. I appreciate both of you boys. One big thing presented by nobody. Riley, you can go first.
So this ties into some music discussions that we've had on the music thread in the Discord. I kind of want to give Kid Cudi his flowers for Man on the Moon 1. I went back and listened to that. Guy's been gassing it up. Guy was probably 2 when that album came up. But it's hit after hit after hit. He can't really rap. He doesn't really have bars, but finds a way to make music good enough that overcomes it. And I don't think any of your favorite rappers today would exist if it wasn't for that album.
Kid Cudi flowers, huh?
Kid Cudi flowers, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm not mad at that. Not too upset at that. I mean, you get 1 day a week to get your one big thing, and we're giving Kid Cudi his flowers and saying that he paved the way for the greats.
I think he really did.
Okay, I do like
Like,
Man.
there's no,
I do like Pursuit of Happiness and Man on the Moon.
there's no Rod wave if Kid Cudi doesn't make Man on the Moon.
Relax, really relax. Come on,
I
man.
really think that's true.
That's just another classic case of a skinny person trying to take a fat person's shine, and that's not going to happen on my watch.
I don't know where to find what's inside of my mind. I'm just really depressed and I'm high.
That's
That's all
Skrillex.
it is.
Oh,
That's Greg's synopsis of Man on the Moon.
ah,
There's
It's not the whole
no
thing.
skips on that album, though.
How I'm sad and high for an hour.
You're not a Man on the Moon fan? You're not going to recognize that spot among hip hop great albums?
The Lonely Stoner. That's, that's kind of a hit, but once it's I've never been a Cudi guy, man. I'm honestly surprised you are, Riz, because like this, I'm making an assumption here. I only know people who smoke a lot of marijuana that love Kid Cudi. I do not know anyone who doesn't. And I'm making an assumption. I would assume you are not much of a smoker.
Correct. You
Right.
assumed right.
There's
That's
more.
but this is really, I don't know. I'm not a huge Cudi guy after this album, but I just wanted to give this album a shout for its place in hip hop lore.
Yeah, is he still dropping music?
I think he did put out an album last year, maybe.
For what it's worth, to Greg's theory, I love Rod Wave, and all his songs are just sad and fat things. That's it. It's just like it hits every time, literally. My one big thing for today is, with the weather really heating up, I need people to be very, very cognizant of not leaving your chapstick in the car. I just got hit with that the other day, and I was absolutely devastated. It's the worst pain in my life. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone but Zdeno Chara and Eric Ebron and Matt Patricia. But like leaving your chapstick in the whip and coming back and it's just melted and hot and you need it bad is the worst feeling of all time.
That was a fantastic one big thing. That might have been my favorite one big thing in the show's history. Honestly, just perfectly, flawlessly executed by you, and disses to your enemies. That was really smooth. My one big thing, I have two shout outs to give. Shout out number one, repetitive, but got to do it again. Shout out to my 3-wood, because I did get out and golf yesterday, and I did have an errant drive off the tee. It was like a 370-yard hole. I hook one right. It hits a tree. I'm on a 75-degree slope. Ball's above my feet, 220 yards out. Home. It's on the center of the green. I've never seen it before. Nobody told me you're allowed to do that. It's life-changing. Shot at 89 yesterday, Cart. We're back.
You shot at 89 and didn't say anything?
Well, because it didn't feel right coming right to you after the 100 from our trip to Baltimore. But like the problems in the Baltimore round were fixed. I didn't have a 3-putt yesterday. It was nice. It was nice. My second shout out, I want to give a big time shout out to my Blackstone grill. It's a big week for you. The eyes are on you. The pressure's on you. And I get this is a road game. This isn't a comfortable spot for you. You're in a new environment. You know, we built a new arena. And this is your first big go. Like, I know we've had some practice sessions, but you never know what's going to happen when the crowd shows up, when the lights are bright. And the lights can't be brighter than the 4th of July weekend. People are looking at you to perform. Last night, we had a nice little dinner, a little family dinner before the big game. And you did great. Wife wanted a couple hot dogs last night. That's what she asked for. She went to put the daughter down and said, can I get some pre-4th of July hot dogs? Me, I'm on my diet. I had to just crack a couple eggs for my meal. That's all it was doing. Had them both rocking at the same time. 2 different heat levels on the grill in the backyard. Bada bang, bada boom. We're out in 6 minutes. Blackstone's ready for this moment. I can sense it.
Can I be critical of your diet here for a second?
Yeah, please.
You could have had hot dogs.
It was too late in the night for me to like shift up. They would not have fit the macros after what I had eaten in the morning.
Got you.
Yeah.
Like you have a hot dog like without the bun and without honestly just the bun. Like a hot dog by itself isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I had it all mapped out for the day. So wife's hot dog request kind of sprung me for a loop, but not the Blackstone. The Blackstone was ready.
Got you. Very last question. How many calories are you eating in a day?
I'll check. I think a little over 1,700.
Damn. You're gonna lose some weight then for sure if you're only eating 17 a day.
Yeah, that's my number right now.
Riley
A little over
probably had
1,700.
17 as a snack before he hopped on here. Oh, strong self.
Yep, I think it's probably about accurate.
Those
I
biceps
also-
are not going to feed themselves.
I didn't realize you were a Blackstone guy. My respect for the G Wizzy palette just went up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, only way to grow. Life changing.
My first summer with a Blackstone.
You got a Blackstone too?
Yeah, I made the full shift to full Blackstone.
What makes it? I mean, I always know that Blackstones are great for if you want to do like hibachi style vegetables, if you want to do smash burgers, if you want to do any sort of breakfast related grilling. But what would make a Blackstone better for some hot dogs than like your typical Weber grill?
Well, the Blackstone wouldn't hop on a podcast and give the grill its flowers. I know that. Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
That's extremely true. No, it like if you're just cooking hot dogs, no, but you're making so much more. Like on my old grill, I would only do like dogs and burgers and that's it. Now I'm like, yo, we should buy some onion and chop up some onion today. Can we make some salsa on the grill today? Like just new possibilities. And cleaning. Cleaning is so much easier. Highly recommend. Big week for the Blackstones out there. All right, that's the show. Thank you, Riley, for making time for us on vacation. Have a great 4th of July weekend, everybody.